Good morning, students. Today we are starting lesson 8 from your new James English Reader book of class 7, and the name of the lesson is Harold R. Hornbill. So, children, what do you mean by hornbill? Hornbill is a bird with large, curved, often brightly colored beak found in tropical and subtropical areas. So, children, this is a fascinating story about Harold. Harold is the name of a bird, a pet hornbill, which the narrator had when he was a little boy. So, now read about how Harold finds a new home when he falls out of his nest. So, coming to the story, Harold's mother, like many other hornbills, was a careful and obedient wife. And his father too was an easygoing person. Easygoing means calm and relaxed, not easily worried. There was a tree in the garden. So, in January, when this tree was about to burst into flame, red blossom, Harold's father took his wife to a hole in the trunk of that tree. Taking their wives to that tree was a kind of tradition followed by hornbills, generation after generation. Harold's father had shut his wife in that hole and covered the hole from outside with mud, sticks, and dung. And he kept a tiny, small hole in it for chatting and breathing. Soon, Harold was born. As he grew bigger in size, space for two became short. So his mother broke away the whole protecting shield and came out on the branches. Harold was happy at his place in the hole as he got food from his parents from time to time. One afternoon, he was awakened from his siesta, means a short nap, by a loud thumping on the wall, a sound quite different from that made by his parents. Soon the wall gave away, and there was something large and yellow and fury staring at him. Staring means looking at him. Not his parents' bill, but the hungry eyes of Civet cat. Civet cat means a small cat like tree dwelling animal. So before Harold could be seized, his parents flew at the cat, both roaring lustily. Roaring lustily means screeching loudly and striking out with their great bills in the ensuing melee. Ensuing melee means the noisy fight with followed. Harold tumbled out of his nest and landed on our garden path. So before the cat or any other predator could get to him or they attack him, grandfather picked him. Whose grandfather? Ruskin Bond's grandfather picked him up and took him to the sanctuary of the veranda. Harold had lost some wing feather and did not look as though he would be able to survive on his own. So, they made an enclosure for him, who Ruskin Bond and his grandfather make made an enclosure for him in their front veranda. Grandfather and Ruskin took over the duties of his parents. Harold has a simple outlook, and once he had got over some early attacks of nerves. Attacks of nerves means feelings of anxiety. He began to welcome the approach of people. Grandfather and Ruskin meant the arrival of food, and he greeted them with a craning neck, quivering open bill, and a loud croaking ka key. Fruit, insects, or animal food and green leaves were all welcome. So the bird likes fruit, insect, or animal food, and also a green leaves as his food. So here they soon dispensed with the enclosure, but Harold made no efforts to go away. He had difficulty flying. In fact, he asserted his tenancy rights, means rights of using a place like a tenant, as at least as far as the veranda was concerned. So one afternoon, a veranda tea party was suddenly and alarmingly convulsed, means here disturbed by the flash of black and white and noisy flapping. And behold, the last and only loaf of bread had been seized by Harold and carried off to his perch near the ceiling. Harold was not beautiful by Hollywood standard. He had a small body and a large head, but he was good natured and friendly, and he remained on good terms with most members of the household during his lifetime of 12 years. Harold's best friends were those who fed them, means those gave him food, was his best friends, and he was willing even to share his food with us, sometimes trying to feed me with his great beak, and sometimes he used to feed Ruskin with his great beak. While I turned down his offers of beetles and similar delicacies, I did occasionally share a banana with him. Eating was a serious business for Harold, and if there was any delay at mealtime, he would summon me with raucous barks and vigorous bangs of his bill on the woodwork of the kitchen window. Harold gave much time and thought to his personal appearance. He carried a rough pot on his person and used it very skillfully as an item of his morning toilet. Morning toilet means here act of washing and cleaning in the morning. His rough pot was a small gland situated above the roots of his tail feathers. It produced a rich yellow fluid. Harold would dip into his rough pot from time to time and then rub the color over his feathers and the black of his neck. It would come off on my hands whenever I touched him. Harold would toy with anything, means play with anything casually, bright or glittering, often swallowing it afterwards. He loved bananas and dates and balls of boiled rice. I would throw him the rice balls and he would catch them in his beak, toss them in the air, and let them drop into his open mouth. He perfected this trick of catching things, and in time I taught him to catch a tennis ball thrown with some force from a distance of 15 yards. Although Harold never seemed to drink any water, he loved the rain. We always knew when it was going to rain because Harold would start chuckling of himself about an hour before the first raindrops fell. This used to irritate Aunt Ruby. She was always being caught in the rain. Harold would be chuckling when she left the house, and when she returned, drenched to the skin, he would be in fits of laughter. Fits of laughter means sudden short bouts of uncontrollable laughter. As storms clouds would gather and gusts of wind would shake the banana trees, Harold would get very excited and his chuckle would change to an airy whistle. Wee wee, he would scream, and then, as the first drop of rain hit the veranda steps and the scent of the fresh earth passed through the house, he would start roaring with pleasure. The wind would carry the rain into the veranda, and Harold would spread out his wings and dance, tumbling about like a circus clown. My grandparents and I would come out on the veranda and share his happiness. Many years later, I still miss Harold's raucous bark and the banging of his great bill. If there is a heaven for good hornbills, I sincerely hope he is getting all the summer showers he could wish for and plenty of tennis balls to catch. So, children, it's a very nice story of a bird, and the way it touches our heart is something unusual in animal stories. Ruskin Bond penned down the story like a true bird lover. So, children, I hope that you all have loved this story and also understood this story. Thank you.